Talking about kegs and eggs, fertility and oocytes. Talking candid while having a drink or two. You'll hear real talk from a real genetic counselor who's miscarried multiple times before. It's time for Katie Lee CGC.
Hi guys, it's me, Katie Lee CGC, and welcome back to my channel. Today, what I thought I would do is a bit of a pregnancy update because I am behind. I'm way behind. And I know I recorded a couple videos, but I honestly don't even know where the videos are anymore. So I'm just gonna start with where I am today, which is 29 weeks, 6 days. So tomorrow I'll be 30 weeks pregnant, and probably by the time I post this, 30 weeks. So I'm super happy and excited to be in the third trimester. What else is going on? I pretty much finished the nursery. I'll add a little time lapse in, but I'm obsessed with how it turned out. I think it's so cute. We still haven't settled on names. Physically, how am I feeling? I'm feeling really good. I'm a little bit more tired than usual, but otherwise I feel completely fine. I'm fortunate in that I can still exercise. My body's not hurting. I'm not feeling swollen yet. I really just feel normal, besides being a little tired. I'm a little slower when I play tag with my son, but that's about it. Other physical changes, of course, my stomach is getting much bigger. Everything's measuring on track. I just had my 30-week appointment yesterday, and baby is looking good, growing well, heart rate's good. I did fail my glucose challenge test. So when you are between usually 24 to 28 weeks of pregnancy, you will take a test to screen you for gestational diabetes, which is fairly common in pregnancy, and just like regular diabetes, but brought on by pregnancy, it affects the way that your cells use sugar or glucose. So for these glucose challenge tests, you'll take like a drink of a really sugary kind of soda tasting drink, and you'll drink that, and then a phlebotomist will draw your blood an hour later and check your glucose levels. So I did that test and I failed it. That drink makes me feel really nauseous, so I was annoyed to have to do it again. If you fail that first 1 hour glucose tolerance test, then you have to take an even longer test where you fast 12 hours or so. It can differ depending on the lab, but maybe like 12 to 9 hours in advance of the test. So you take it first thing in the morning, you go into the phlebotomist, they'll draw your blood to get your fasting glucose, and then you'll drink the drink, and then every hour for 3 hours, they'll take your blood to measure your glucose levels. So I did that test. First time I went in for it, I puked after 2 hours. So I couldn't get the third blood draw done, and therefore I was DQ'd from the test, and I was so annoyed. Then I got Zofran for the next one. So I redid the glucose challenge test and I passed it, and it was completely normal. So I don't know, my friends know I'm kind of like a Debbie Downer about some pregnancy screening stuff. Like, I think a lot of it is overkill. A lot of us get false alarms in pregnancy. We get scares about things being wrong, and then everything is completely fine. But it's important to do that gestational diabetes screening. If you have gestational diabetes and it's not managed, you can have a really big baby. You could have preterm delivery. It can give the person carrying the pregnancy an increased risk of high blood pressure and preeclampsia in pregnancy. So, you know, I did the screening, even though I was not enthusiastic about it. Another false alarm scare I had is that at my ultrasound for 20 weeks, that's the anatomy scan where they take a really good look at the baby and can measure all sorts of different things. They told me that I had placenta previa. That is when your placenta is laying on top of or very close to your cervix. And if you have placenta previa, you cannot deliver vaginally because of a risk for excessive bleeding. So you have to have a C-section. And actually the exact same thing happened when I was pregnant with my son. And as I just got further along, the placenta moved up and away from my cervix so I could deliver vaginally anyways. And that same thing has happened again. So that's what I mean with all these false alarms. It's just like, we look for so much. Everyone gets flagged for something, whether it's a small baby, a big baby, the placenta being in a different location, a 2-vessel cord. There's just all of these things. And oftentimes things are fine, even though they saw an increased risk for something. I don't love going to the OB, one, because it's still such a traumatic place for me after going in there like dozens of times for all of my miscarriages and miscarriage follow-up, but two, because I don't know, if I wasn't in healthcare, I'd probably just see a midwife and like not do all of the appointments that you're supposed to do if you go to a regular OB. So that's that. Oh, one of the videos I lost was about feeling the baby move for the first time. I felt the baby move for the first time at 19 weeks and it was so exciting. And she's been moving so much, like constantly moving since then. So it is just such a reassurance after all those pregnancy losses to have a squiggly wiggly baby in my belly and to be able to feel her moving all the time and know she's kicking and alive in there. What else? Oh, I signed up for nude maternity photos, which I am so excited for. I did some like casual maternity pictures with my son, but for this pregnancy, I want to take pictures of how my body looks now. And I kind of think like pictures where you're in your bra and underwear are pretty much a bra and underwear. It's like, I really want to see the curves that I have and document my pregnancy, my body in pregnancy, because I don't know if I'll ever have another pregnancy again. And it took so long to get here, and I'm finally able to like sit in it and enjoy it now that I'm further along and feel a little safer and more comfortable in it. So I'm going to take some nude, like artistic nude maternity photos. I'll maybe, I don't know if I can share the photographer's website on my YouTube video here to give you an idea of the style of the photos he takes, just because there is nudity, but maybe I'll put the link below and you can check it out if you want. But I'm super excited to take them, and I think I'm going to do that sometime in August. Oh, my areolas have gotten huge, which is normal. That's part of pregnancy. Your areolas get bigger and darker oftentimes, and it is just so interesting to watch that happen. Oh, and besides that, pregnancy cravings, just candy. Like, people who know me know I'm a pretty healthy eater and I don't usually like candy. Like, if I want a dessert or a treat, I want like dark chocolate, like bitter dark chocolate. But I've been craving candy, and also people who know me know I love gum, specifically sour green apple big league chew. So I've been eating a lot of that, and I literally mean eating it. Like, I just like to swallow it. I have to not buy it too often because I will just eat it like candy. So I've been having cravings for like sour candy, sour, chewy, fruity candies, and eating a lot of those. I'll put in a clip here of how my body looks now. Since I just went to the doctor yesterday, I know I've gained about almost 20 pounds since I first became pregnant, which is normal. You know, there's a huge range of normal. I don't put any thought into that. If you've got concerns about that, ask your doctor. And my next appointment's in a couple of weeks, so I will maybe try and do better on keeping you updated and letting you know how that next appointment goes. All right, guys, see ya.